Hello everyone, dear subscribers, and welcome to my channel. Today, we will dive together into the recent history of Ukraine, exploring the key events of 2024, from January 1st CE to October 31st CE. This period has been marked by numerous challenges, but also by moments of resilience and determination for the Ukrainian people. Ukraine has continued to fight on multiple fronts, both military and diplomatic, and these events have had a major impact on the nation's future. Stay with us for a detailed overview of the most significant moments of the year and to understand what is truly happening in this country at the heart of the global conflict. Ukraine, a country with a rich historical and cultural heritage, has been at the center of a struggle for its sovereignty and territorial integrity for several years. Since the Russian aggression in 2014, the situation has continued to deteriorate, and 2024 was no exception. The conflict, though increasingly complex, continues to affect the country on all levels: military, economic, political, and social. Beyond the war, this year saw major diplomatic developments, impressive military advancements, and heightened economic challenges. It is important to note that, even though Ukraine remains a battleground, it continues to demonstrate exceptional resilience, driven by its people, its government, and its allies. January 1st, 2024, marks another year of war for Ukraine. Although hopes for peace negotiations were nurtured throughout the previous year, military tensions remain high. The Ukrainian army continues to defend itself vigorously, but the eastern regions of the country, particularly Donetsk and Luhansk, remain zones of intense fighting. In January, Russian forces escalate their attacks, and civilians continue to suffer in these devastated areas. While pursuing its military operations, Ukraine also seeks to strengthen its diplomatic position on the international stage. The first days of the year are marked by the signing of new military support agreements from European countries and the United States. On January 25th, a significant meeting takes place in Kyiv between Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and officials from NATO and the European Union. During this meeting, Ukraine clearly expresses its request for increased military support. Discussions focus on the delivery of advanced air defense systems, such as Patriot batteries, as well as reconnaissance drones and precision-guided munitions. The military situation on the ground is becoming increasingly challenging, and Ukraine is striving to maintain control over areas occupied by Russian forces while preventing any further advances. On February 10th, the Ukrainian government intensifies pressure on its Western allies to adopt stricter economic sanctions against Russia. Ukraine aims to block Russian financial flows and restrict access to advanced technologies critical to Russia's war effort. Discussions also include measures to limit Russian exports of gas and oil, major sources of revenue for Russia. Ukraine hopes to weaken the Russian economy and gain a strategic advantage through these efforts. In April, Ukraine receives substantial military aid from the United States and the European Union. This shipment includes modern tanks, attack helicopters, missile systems, armored vehicles, and communication equipment. These deliveries significantly bolster Ukraine's military capabilities and support the war effort on the ground, where losses are heavy on both sides. The international community remains divided on the issue of arming Ukraine. But the growing pressure from Russian aggression compels many countries to increase their support. Despite several attempts to bring Russia and Ukraine to the negotiating table, peace talks fail once again in June. Discussions led by the UN and several mediating countries fail to reach an agreement. One of the main obstacles remains Russia's refusal to withdraw from occupied territories, along with Ukraine's demands for security guarantees and non-aggression commitments. The failure of these negotiations exacerbates the situation on the ground, and June ends with an escalation of fighting in the Donbass and Crimea regions. In September, Ukraine takes a significant step in strengthening its ties with NATO. Although Ukraine's formal membership in the alliance remains a long-term goal, agreements are signed to allow Ukraine greater participation in NATO military exercises. This cooperation results in enhanced training for Ukrainian forces and more direct access to military intelligence. This marks an important milestone, as it paves the way for deeper exchanges between the two parties, bolstering Ukraine's security in the context of a prolonged war. On October 15, the Ukrainian army announces a decisive victory in the Kherson region, where several strategic villages are recaptured after intense fighting. This victory, although symbolic, is significant militarily as it demonstrates Ukraine's ability to conduct effective counteroffensives against Russian troops. Despite facing numerous logistical and material challenges, Ukrainian forces succeed in inflicting substantial losses on the Russian army and reclaiming strategic positions. The victory boosts the morale of both the troops and the Ukrainian people, who continue to hope for an eventual end to the war. By the end of October, Ukraine's economic situation worsens further, with soaring inflation and a sharp decline in industrial production. The country faces the destruction of numerous critical infrastructures, exacerbating the humanitarian crisis. The number of Ukrainian refugees surpasses 10 million, with millions of civilians living in dire conditions. International organizations intensify their humanitarian aid efforts, but the needs remain vast. While efforts to rebuild the country are beginning to be considered, the ongoing war remains the top priority. In conclusion, the year 2024 was a pivotal moment for Ukraine. Despite immense challenges, the country demonstrated remarkable resilience in the face of numerous adversities. Military, diplomatic, and economic progress reflects the Ukrainian people's determination to defend themselves and pursue a path toward a safer and more prosperous future. However, the cost of this war remains high, and Ukraine still has a long road ahead to fully recover from the devastation it has endured. International support continues to play a crucial role, and Ukraine's future will largely depend on the ability of its allies to sustain and strengthen their assistance. Thank you all for your attention and for taking the time to follow this detailed presentation of the key moments in Ukraine's history in 2024. If you enjoyed this video and would like to learn more about the global events shaping our world, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications. This will keep you informed and ensure you don't miss any upcoming videos. See you soon for more exciting analyses and discoveries.